Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Lunch Table Podcast. In this special episode, we're finally doing another prediction. We haven't done one since season 1 of this channel. And today, we're going to give our predictions for who will win the nominated awards for the Game Awards. If you guys make sense in this video, please remember to like and share. It'll greatly help us out. We got plenty of stuff to cover, so stick with us. We're joined today by the one, the only, Jerome. Jerome, how are you?
My God, you know you're supposed to use my alias? Like, what is this disrespect out here?
Black Media News, how are you?
No, you disrespectful to the culture.
I apologize.
Like, now they gonna be in the comment section and be like, Jerome? Like, no.
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, I had one identity and you just Norman Osborn the shit out of me.
This was a name reveal, actually, guys. Sorry about that.
Well, but Jerome, no, I'm good. How y'all doing? Good. I'm good.
Cool. Very good. Excited today. I know that, again, as I said, we have plenty of stuff to cover. So I kind of want to go about this in the way it was situated when voting. And I think the most significant award is the Game of the Year award. And for that, what's nominated is A Plague's Tale, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on who may win.
Yeah, crazy lineup this year. It's glad to see some indies going up against some AAA games this year. Akram, you and I have some similar thoughts. I definitely believe God of War is winning a majority of these categories this year. So I definitely feel they're gonna win Game of the Year. But it's great to see, other games as well. I mean, Jerome, you and I played Elden Ring. It was a great, environmental narrative game. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
First of all, we did play Elden Ring. You ain't on my level yet, so we could never do co-op.
Never will be.
Shaking my head.
Like, I'm gonna play through 3 and you still not on my level yet.
Damn.
But at the end of the day, each one of these games, like, you gotta think about it. Each one of these games have a significant reason to be up here. Even Stray, nobody thought that game was gonna be as popular as it was.
Crazy, I know.
But I guess Peter sponsored the game because everybody just hopped up on it. Like,
that's right.
Even though that cat was a little mischievous, dropping pots and pans on people, I really love that game. Bro, did you just meow? Yo. But yeah, at the end of the day, I would have said Elden Ring or Horizon Forbidden West would have won. But since God of War Ragnarok did just come out, it threw like a nuclear bomb in this award show.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So each one of these games, from A Plague Tale Requiem all the way to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, have a significant reason to be up here. From gameplay to musical score to environment to overall just general game mechanics, you can't go wrong. Especially if you was to pick A Plague Tale or Elden Ring.
They're all worthy nominees.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, they really are. It's most likely a popularity game. Sometimes it kind of seems a little bit unfair. A lot of the nominees here seem like they're categorized with very different types of feels and different types of tones and just gameplay in general. It's a little bit unfair. I think people are kind of biased, especially when a game just drops before the Game Awards. And then here we go, we're nominated. But I really do believe that God of War Ragnarok will win. I think that's a safe bet to take. But A Plague Tale Requiem was awesome. I think Stray had a very poignant view on like environmentalism and stuff like that. I think it was nice. Xenoblade, I don't have too much experience with, but again, Horizon 2, mad popular. But I just think because God of War came out recently, and plus the ending in that game was so beautifully crafted, I got a feeling God of War Ragnarok's gonna win. What was your thoughts, Dylan, on Game of the Year? God of War as well?
Yeah, I'd say God of War. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, yeah, just the fact that it came out and then the last one that came before it was amazing. And, God of War is a great franchise and a great storytelling game. Yeah, I would definitely agree. But yeah, like you guys said, each one of these nominees definitely deserves its spot. Just the way in which they crafted their gameplay and their narrative, I think was really like awesome this year. Great year for games, I would say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Well, let's move on then. So, of course, with a great game comes a great director. So we have Best Game Direction, and the nominees are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. So let me know, what are your picks?
I'm going Elden Ring.
Really? Ooh, okay.
Because the amount of content that you stuffed in the Elden Ring that we are still discovering until this day, and this is before they drop the potential DLC that's going to expand to one of them little foggy areas in the outskirts.
I'll still get my ass beat.
Yeah, like, think about that. Elden Ring still has so much hidden gems in it that whoever directed this game must have knew, like, we can't slack. We cannot. Like, they are anticipating this. The Souls franchise, after Dark Souls 3, they kind of went through like an up and down situation. Granted, we had Souls-like counterparts, but nothing truly Souls-like, like giving you Dark Souls 3 vibes until Elden Ring. Because Sekiro was more fast-paced.
Yep.
You had the anime Souls-like genre that came out. And you had Cold Vein, which was anime Elden Ring, but it really wasn't as difficult, or it didn't have as many hidden gems. So it's like, whoever directed this game, they really put their foot in it.
Yeah, they had George R. R. Martin, consult for this game. So just that alone, makes it a great contender. Yeah, I definitely agree. Elden Ring was definitely a game that I fell in love with. Even though I lost most of those boss battles, but it's a great environmental storytelling, and yeah, I mean, I would even say it'll probably be a winner for art direction as well. But yeah, it definitely has very like soul style I'd say like throwbacks. It definitely has that vibe. I would even say Immortality too. Just because Immortality is a weird one for this year because it's not like your traditional kind of game. It's a very like weird storytelling game. It's very like film inspired. It's weird, but I think it's also like a game that like kind of like redefines the genre a bit. Like how do you have a game that feels like more like a storytelling element? But yeah, Akram, what are your thoughts?
I'm placing a safe bet here again, and one would assume that my safe bet is Elden Ring. I actually still pick God of War Ragnarok. It's also it's a popularity game, and also it kind of goes toe to toe with the world building because there are so many elements within the world, and the way how they conducted the after you pass the game, like you could actually go back and play with Freya, or I forgot her name, and you could play with her, and new dialogue options come out, Easter eggs come out throughout the world too. It's not like something you could really interact with, but you'll see like hidden gods or hidden Norse mythos there. And that's after you pass the game. And while you're playing the game, you could also find that as well. I think the way how they constructed that was masterfully done. And I think, again, this is a send off. So we don't know if we'll ever get like another Kratos game. I think that if they made another one, it'll kind of be a little bit weird. It'll kind of defeat the purpose of the ending of this game without saying too much spoilers. So that's why I think my safe bet really here, at least, is for God of War Ragnarok. But I'm sure we're going to have differing opinions for best narrative because those kind of go hand in hand. But for the categories for best narrative is A Plague's Tale, Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality. So again, you guys have a go at it. What's your picks?
Can we just not skip over Horizon Forbidden West? Like, I know we kind of stuck over God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring, but Horizon Forbidden West is a 10 out of 10 game for me.
Yeah.
From world building to the different characters. Granted, some of the side characters are a little iffy, but overall, that game gets a 10 out of 10 from me. So I just want to give it its just due because it may not win that much on this list due to the time frame that it came out, which is a hindrance to one of the best games that came out this year.
Right.
So I also want to say that I don't believe that God of War Ragnarok should be on none of these lists. Like, so I'm a stickler for that's not fair to the games that's already been out that had a chance to like mesh into the community. If you're going to put out a game that just came out last week or 2 weeks ago and awards is coming up, that's like you cheating the system because everybody's mind is still on that game.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So I believe that if you're going to do this, you should at least give them like a 3 months grace period. That way you can't just throw a new game out 2 weeks beforehand with a popular title and then everybody just jump on it, then you just disrespecting the other nominees because they've been out for 4+ months or 3+ months to damn near a whole year.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's kind of doing a disservice to the other people in this category.
Yeah.
Especially anything like God of War, you knew that's going to win because God of War came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or like 3 weeks ago.
AAA game, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and boom. That's just like if they was to release the highly anticipated Final Fantasy 16 last week, everybody was going to be jumping on it.
Right.
Like that's what any new title. So even though best narrative, I would give it to God of War. But if I'm really being honest, I would pick a Plague Tale, Elden Ring, and Horizon over God of War. Just for my own ideology. Because
and
God of War shouldn't even be on here. Yeah. Like, even though it's a great game, it shouldn't be here. And that's what I just wanted to get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with Drum. Yeah, they definitely need like to let that game breathe a little before the Game Awards. But if I'm being from a critical standpoint, I could I mean God of War is like a huge franchise, obviously, and I think Kratos' story is like one of the best stories in video game history. So I could definitely see it winning. But also, I mean, like the other games as well. Elden Ring, it's just so lore intensive. It feels like you're like playing through like this Tolkien-esque like story, and I'm still finding out things about it like every day, like Jerome said. Immortality, even just like it has like a mystery to it, so it just makes you want to like dive deeper into it. um like Horizon Forbidden West, also great world building as well. So yeah, all I would say really have great narratives. But yeah, Akram, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, again, like I'm picking these like as if I'm betting money, and some of them are safe bets and some of them are on a whim, and I still will pick God of War Ragnarok. I think that God of War Ragnarok definitely should have been saved for next year's Game Awards. I think that would have been a lot more fairer. But if I were a betting man, I would pick God of War Ragnarok. But that's not to say that all these games have a extremely wonderful narrative, because as you guys were saying about Elden Ring, to lore craft that, right, there's so many pieces. It's not just like the linear storyline, if there is any. It's really about just the world building as well, and how that contributes to the overall linear storyline. And Horizon Forbidden West, I think, was beautiful as well. I haven't finished it, unfortunately. It's been so busy with this podcast, but I played a lot of it. And a beautiful game, of course. And A Plague's Tale Requiem, that ending was so dark. That ending was really dark. So,
but it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It really is. But again, at the end of the day, I feel like it is kind of like a betting thing, and it's a popularity game, and probably God of War Ragnarok. So my bet, honestly, right now, unfortunately, will be God of War Ragnarok for best narrative. But
Akram's betting his mortgage on God
I'm betting Ragnarok. I'm betting my room on it. All right, so we got next up is best art direction. I think you guys probably have good picks for this. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray.
Oh, wow.
So let us know.
Oh, wow. Dylan, you gotta go first because I'm still shocked over this one.
It's for me, it's between Elden Ring and Scorn. Scorn was fucking crazy. That was like, they really pulled all the Geiger stops for that game. I was like, holy shit. Just like the environments are crazy to look at. Like, it just makes you want to like run through the whole game just to like find more environments. But yeah, I mean, even Elden Ring too, like the environments were great, just like they felt so different, like from place to place. They still had that weird tension in each of them, even like in the more like you felt like you were safe in like some areas, like you go through like a forest, but there's still like some fucking bat or some shit that like kills you. But everything about it, even like the weapon designs, the armors, everything was beautiful. Drum, what are your thoughts?
Side note, can we just say fuck them bats in Elden Ring?
Fuck those bats, yo.
Yo, I really hate them.
It was between them and the Centipede Johns.
Yeah, like you go into one cave and you getting gangbanged by hags dressed as bats.
No, you know
like,
what? Fuck those chests that you open up and you just end up in another area.
Yeah, it was them damn bats. I used to fireball the shit out of them before I even entered the cave. But no, best art direction, I'm not gonna hold you. The diehard Elden Ring in me is saying Elden Ring, because you gotta think everything that was in this game was perfectly crafted. From the armor, the little detail, like if you zoom in on the armor, the fine new details in the armor was fantastic. the swords. We gotta talk about some of them sword designs because I got like my top 5 swords in Elden Ring. We gotta do an episode on that.
You can tell they definitely pulled from like Berserk and like some of like Guts's like armor and shit.
Yo, for real. But a lot of the weapons was inspired by the Berserk universe. And for those who don't know, Berserk is one of the most highly recommended manga series. Don't touch the anime, please don't. Go to the movies before they did the CGI, but don't
play Elden Ring before you watch the anime.
Yeah, and you can certainly pick up how Berserk influenced some of the character designs, the armor, even the weaponry in this game. So I would go for Elden Ring because, man, it was just a beautifully.
Even the enemies, the creature designs, it was crazy.
Bro, the Dark Knights in there, bro, they was from the hood. Because they disrespected me every time. In that little snowy field, first of all, it's a blizzard. And then it's 2 of them. First of all, if you got all black Air Forces on, I'm scared of you. So if you got all black armor and a black horse, and it's dark, yeah, bro, yeah, you a terrorist. But Elden Ring, I got to give it to it. I would have said Scorn, but when I thought about it, Elden Ring really, it's just built different. And that's before, like I said previously, DLC. So can't beat that.
Yeah, I think that it's a hard one too because all of these games that's listed here are pretty good art direction wise. Some are more significant than others. I think that instead of being a popularity game, I think it kind of comes down to personal tastes, personal preference, because art direction is a lot kind of like a painting, especially in games. And so it's a personification of the story of and I think Scorn completely does that right. It has a lot of through lines about pregnancy and not being able to have children and stillborn. And I think the way how they approach that was really good, but I think it's really hard to look at. And that could be a draw for a lot of people because the way how they did it was masterfully done as well. But I think from a popularity standpoint as well, but also because of how Elden Ring kind of has this intertextuality within anime, manga, whatever, my bet is on Elden Ring. So I vote for Elden Ring. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. So now we're going to move on to best score music. This is a good one, actually. So A Plague's Tale, or I keep saying Plague's Tale, A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So tell us your picks.
Oh, it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3 all the way.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Listen, one thing that you could count on for the Xenoblade series is its music. Most YouTubers who do gaming videos, if they don't do like the stock like sounds and stuff like that, they legit go for Elden Ring, Zelda, Sonic, the Persona series. So if they are using it, if the big time YouTubers who cover gaming are using Xenoblade audio for their videos, then you know it's hidden because they got to be particular about what they add audio wise to their videos. So even if they aren't like gaming YouTube channels, you can still, if you ever played the series, you can hear in the little background Xenoblade music and be like, oh, I know where that's from. Like one of my best creators that I watch 24/7, Afro Senju. This was not a plug for him, so. But anyway, he uses a lot of like Xenoblade, Zelda, Persona, Final Fantasy, and people in his circle follow suit. So, Xenoblade Chronicles, bro, it's getting for me, or Elden Ring because the semblance in the piano or the violin that's playing in the distance. If you're a music junkie like me, you start picking the different instruments that they use. And it's just, you can't go wrong between those two. But I'm going to have to go with Xenoblade.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Xenoblade, but I know a lot of anime-inspired games have amazing music. Elden Ring, I could say also. I can't tell you how many times I had those songs in my head after going through all those boss battles, but it's beautiful. I guess also Plague Tale Requiem had great soundtrack as well. But yeah, I probably would say Elden Ring. Because even the way they use music is like when you approach certain areas, you can start like picking up those, like melodies and like very sinister vibes. Or if you're in like a very safer environment, it just makes you feel like more, like I don't know, attuned to the environment. But yeah, what would
That's
you say,
a
Akram?
that's a hard one actually, because I feel like I should be on your guys' side with Elden Ring. I don't have much experience with Elden Ring. That's the thing. I haven't played Elden Ring, and Plague Tale Requiem is one thing. I don't want to just go pick God of War Ragnarok. I mean, I've experienced it. I thought that the music was very powerful and moving, but I don't have an opinion here. I guess I can kind of place my safe bet and just say God of War Ragnarok, just because that's the only thing really that and Plague Tale was all right. So that's my thoughts on that. Sorry, everybody. But
Like how none of
okay,
us
well,
picked Metal Hellsing.
yes, nobody. Well, listen, we're not done with audio philiac type of stuff. So we got best audio design. I know my pick for this already. So it's Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. You guys know the deal. Tell me your picks.
Jerome, you want to go first?
And me and Dylan kind of already established that Elden Ring is hitting differently. So I don't think we're going to stray too much off the beaten path for this one.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to go, I would say Horizon Forbidden West. And that's just me trying to like not be on the same road as Dylan because he's Dylan.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, musically, it's a step up from the first game. The first game, honestly, I didn't care for the music. But the second game, I actually went to Spotify and checked out the whole soundtrack. But if we doing bets, it is either going to go to Elden Ring or God of War.
Well, for audio design, though.
Yeah, still. Audio design, you got to go to Elden Ring.
Really?
Why wouldn't you?
I feel like I'm going to win this one. Watch. I'm so going to win this one.
Well, I'll tell you mine.
It's either Elden Ring or God of War, but...
I mean, I could say Elden Ring, but I mean, if it's a very specific category, so I would either say either Call of Duty or Gran Turismo. Because Gran Turismo is not narrative driven, so they have to rely on audio and visuals, to make that game masterful. Yeah. So I would say it's between those two, but
I picked Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2
I knew
because
you were gonna pick that.
The gun designs, especially like being a gun nut like me, the way how they handled the authenticity of that, I think was spot on.
Yeah.
And then the gear, the way it moves and stuff. And also remember, if you're playing multiplayer, also you have to really rely on sound as well. Like you have to use all senses. It has its issues with multiplayer, but the one thing they did good on is the graphics and audio. So my safe bet is Call of Duty.
But isn't that always a staple with Call of Duty games? Yeah. Like they got, if you can't recreate the impact or the sounds from a gun, then bro, change your name.
Right. Well, even the environment too, like the rain sounds, like they're like so on point sometimes. Like you're actually on a mission there.
Gran Turismo, it can go hand in hand because that game you gotta be able to recreate the sound of a car.
Right.
Everybody may say it's easy, like just hold the mic to a car when it's driving. It's not easy. The shift in gear, like if you, for all them people who don't drive, each car, when you shift the gears, depending on the style of car, it's a different sound. Like that revving engine, it may sound generic outside, but inside the car, it's a whole different experience.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
So between Call of Duty, now that y'all made me actually think about it more deeper, in Gran Turismo, I would still side with Call of Duty. But if you was to say Gran Turismo 7, I would not fault you, especially if you have headphones, like audiophile headphones on, or headphones that could pick up the minute sounds. You can't go wrong. Yeah. You really can't.
Yeah, because they're updating racing games like every year to make it feel like you're more having that, that driver experience. So I definitely would say Gran Turismo.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, this is an exciting one. This is a hard one actually. So best performance, we have Horizon Forbidden West, Ashley Birch, A Plague Tale Requiem, Charlotte McBurney, God of War Ragnarok, Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok, Sunny Suljek, and Immortality, Manan Gage. Sorry if I'm butchering any of those names, but guys, this is a really hard one. So again,
Yeah.
right? It's hard.
I feel like it's gonna be God of War.
I think it's gonna be Christopher Judge. Personally, between Sonny Soljek or Christopher Judge. Although Ashley Birch is great, I have no experience to Immortality, and I know that Christopher Judge is a popular name. Although Sonny had plenty of screen time on screen, so he did wonderful, and his voice changed too. But I just feel like Christopher Judge takes it because there's so much.
Judge, he cried during the making of this game, so that's how you know he's so committed to his role. Like,
right.
I could definitely see him taking the top spot. But yeah, I mean, all of them are great. I mean, like even Immortality and Horizon Forbidden West, the actresses are just so involved in their characters.
Well, yeah, and Christopher Judge, there's such a powerfulness to him, right? How do you go from this vengeful white ghost to this guy who's trying to be a father? There's so much duality you have to play with, and you have to be really on a thin line because you're kind of like this villain, and you killed a whole place, and millions of people died. So how do you come from that to having this cadence, right, through this rumbling voice, and sometimes this guy answers like all the time, right? So it's kind of hard to have that balance, and I think he did it perfectly. And I think he did it with a lot of love too. That's why he was tearing up. Sonny, at the same time too, he's becoming more confident in his role. They showed that behind the scenes, and you could tell. But there's a naivety to him as well, which I appreciate. But I really do think Christopher Judge takes it this time. So what are your thoughts, Jerome?
See, listen, y'all made valid points. But let's be honest, anybody in this category would have lost to Christopher.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, because he's Christopher. Like you was not finna beat him. But Ashley, if Christopher wasn't in this category,
Ashley gets it. Yeah,
I would have gave it to Ashley.
Yeah.
I would have definitely and this goes. I don't think female voice actors, I don't think they get enough credit because they get the side eye when we compare them to their male counterparts, but Ashley really did her thing. And granted, everybody that's on this list deserves to be on this list. But if Christopher wasn't here, I would have given it to Ashley. But Christopher, he perfectly depicted humanity in Kratos, finding humanity. And that was the key. If you ever played from the first God of War, I'm talking about back on PS2, PSP eras, like, way back, first God of War game. And to see his evolution, to find his humanity again, you had to be able to project that in a way that makes the audience feel as though we are Kratos. Right. Or at least that we on the same level as Kratos. And he perfectly depicted how somebody could go from a revenge-seeking person to now regaining his senses of humanity. While also trying to be a father that's strict, but also a father that wants to actually let his son be his son, but doesn't want to actually lose his son like he did his wife. So Christopher, kudos to you. You get all props, so you deserve to win.
Absolutely. Yeah. And everybody, again, they did wonderful in their roles, and we thank them. All right, everybody, now we're moving on to games for impact. So starting off, we have A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, and Hindsight, and also I Was a Teenage EXO Colonist. So those are really nice titles. Okay, so what are your picks for those?
I'm not gonna lie,
that's
most
hard.
Of these games I haven't played.
I'm picking it As Dusk Falls, to be honest with you. I heard a lot about that, especially accessibility wise. I think, again, it's popularity game, plenty of marketing for that, plenty of announcements. That's my safe bet, is A Dusk Falls.
Yeah, so I'm just like Dylan. I haven't played most of these games due to doing outside stuff for my personal channel, and also from time to time being on here with y'all and just adulting. So most of these games I haven't touched, but I am going to touch them now that this semester is about to end, so I can actually jump into some games. Right. But I was hearing, just like Akram, some highly great stuff when it comes to A Dusk Fall and Hindsight. So I don't know, but I did see a lot of like critics going crazy over Endling. Extension is Forever. I seen like a lot of reviews for that, and they was giving it great scores. So due to my lack of knowledge, I don't want to discredit anybody in here for their hard work. So I would just say kudos to everybody who got nominated, because clearly you did something right. Yeah. And I just want to leave it at that without discrediting and trying to play like I know these game titles, because that'll be a disservice to everybody involved. So kudos to all y'all in this nomination.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
wouldn't want to discredit any of them either. I did hear stuff about Dust Falls as well. So, but I mean, kudos to the Game Awards as well for giving them exposure because I've never heard of any of these games until now. So, like Jerome said, maybe I'll pick some of them up.
Yeah, kudos to Jeff Keighley. Honestly, I love how he does mix these games together. I think it's a nice balance, although sometimes it may seem a little bit unfair. But again, that's the nomination games for Impact, so they did something right. Again, I'm still betting for As Dusk Falls because I'm pretending that I'm betting
Right.
like at $10,000 or something.
If any of you
But
guys
again,
know any of these games, comment below. What are your thoughts?
yeah, recommend some stuff for us, right? So, all right, so we have best ongoing. Goodness gracious, I don't know. I'm a Destiny 2 guy, but I don't think I'm going to pick it this time. We have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV. Sorry, I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. Fortnite.
Well, let's say 14.
Okay, thank you. And Genshin Impact. I'm not like a Roman guy either. Sorry. So, guys, give us your thing.
Oh,
You think I'm an
I'm
Athens?
going to kill you in the comment section. I swear. It's going to be like, this motherfucker don't know Roman? He like 30. Like,
Sorry. Sorry.
I think it's between Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
I'm giving it to Final Fantasy 14.
Me too. That's a safe bet.
Best ongoing. For those who don't know, Final Fantasy 14 had a rocky early start.
Mhm.
Like the start to this amazing game, it could have been left in the dust. So the resurgent, once they switched up a little bit of the teams and who was hitting and stuff like that, had made this game go from C tier to damn near God tier in the community.
Yeah.
But you can't find somebody who hasn't heard of this game, let alone played it. Even if they signed up for the free trial or something. Final Fantasy 14. And just to let y'all know, the same half of that team, like most of the people on that team, is working on Final Fantasy 16. So you know it's going to be a top tier game. But yeah, if Final Fantasy 14 wasn't on here, I'll say Genshin. I'm not even going to hold you.
I'll probably say Genshin. Yeah. I mean, it's still
But
ongoing.
yeah.
They just released a new Dendro Nation. And I know I saw some trailers for some new content coming out. I mean, I fell off with Genshin a long time ago, but I know I still see like updates on Instagram like all the time for like all the new characters and all the new nations. So it's cool. But yeah, I would probably say Final
See,
Fantasy 14.
the only thing about Genshin, I wish they stopped doing the whole every update we got to release 1 to 2 new characters. Because if I'm already betting all my money to get one character, and then you just keep popping them, it's like, are you really in it for the game or just to get the cash?
Bro, I'm still trying to get John Lee. That's like until now, shit. Yeah, I agree. Like I wish they would, give you more chances to get older characters before they launch new ones, but I mean, I guess that's to keep you interested.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah. But Akram, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm siding with Jerome. I think they won last time for another award that we're gonna mention a little bit later on. So for sure, I definitely I'm a Destiny 2 veteran. I stopped playing a long time ago because I felt that the bounties were just too monotonous and too tiring, and you really need to dedicate like 6 hours a day just to grind. So that's why I stopped. I used to really be in it, like with the raids, Trials of Osiris. I think that back then they used to put so many trailers and stuff like that on TV, on Prime, the dashboard. Now they stopped really, and that's crazy because they still like did trailers when Bungie was actually like not Activision was involved. It was just Bungie. And now it's like you don't really hear anything anymore. I think it's kind of sad. I think Fortnite is kind of losing its fire a little bit. There's still a huge community, but it's not as well
because the community is growing up and realizing it's a trash game.
Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, I like the lore from Fortnite. Lore, it does have like
That shit
hidden
is
lore.
trash.
Yeah, and it's a little toxic. I mean, and in Apex Legends, that was like a very like I feel like Apex Legends was really popular back in the day.
Was a
Now,
short-lived game. I'll be honest.
no, there's a huge community still, but I just don't like know of it much. It could be just the algorithm on Facebook Gaming or something that's not showing me just because I prefer not to see it. I don't know. All right, but that being said, so this is a really cool one. So we have Best Indie. So Call of the Lamb, made by Massive Monster, Devolver Digital. We have Neon White, made by Angel Matrix, Annapurna. We have Sifu, made by Slow Clap. We have Stray, Blue 12 Studio, Annapurna, and then we also have Tunic. Tunic Team,
my
Finji.
goodness.
Give us your
I
thoughts.
love all these games. I played all these games. So Shifu is for me
I love
because
yeah, it was so good.
I did a whole drunken session one night.
Okay.
And it still lives in my head.
That shit made you
want
to like get a black belt or something.
Bro, I went outside, got a stick. That's how I knew that I was like really ready for this game. Like I was trying to fuck shit up.
Even
But
the
no,
design of the game was
Shifu-
beautiful. Like when you first go in the house, it feels like you're in like somebody's like house, and it's so fucking detailed.
Bro, Shifu is a wonderful game. And the only game that I'm looking at, even though I played it, is Neon White. Is if you for those who ever play Persona, take that and then play the recent game that came out for PlayStation not too long ago, which was Edge Runners. I think that's what it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that's what it's called. It's basically a child of both of those games. So, but it's catered towards adults. It's not for kids. Like, don't pick this up without being around your, like, be with your kids when you play this, because it's a whole lot of sex, drugs, addiction, all that crazy stuff. But Shifu, gotta give it up to Shifu. Hey, whew, if Bruce Lee was Batman,
Right.
that's Shifu.
It's like Arkham, yeah, the fighting mechanics kind of. Yeah. What about you, Dylan?
It's a tie between Sifu and Stray. Sifu I loved, like Jerome said. I think it's a great not just action game, but also storytelling as well. Just like there's a whole mystery you have to solve within the game. I think it's wonderful. But Stray too as well. You of course you know you had that different perspective of like a cat, and I think that's an interesting like game mechanic to use. Something we've never really seen before. So, but I would probably say Sifu. I think Slow Clap did an amazing job with this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually pick Stray. I think Sifu would win another award, and plus Sifu's very old. Again, it's kind of like that thing where like where it released. But I played Stray, and I was really moved by the story. I think the art direction is really good. I was commenting one of my classes in my college. We were talking about art, and I'm really interested in how did the art piece get to the museum and what's the story of how it got there and blah blah blah, and the money that goes behind it, the business side. And I find it so interesting that Stray got picked up by PlayStation and then moved to PlayStation 5, and it's had so much marketing. It's been like a fan favorite game now. Again, you get to play as a cute cat.
So many Twitch
I think,
streamers.
yeah, and the world building is beautiful. Again, the through lines that's going on about environmentalism, about humans in general destroying ourselves. I think it's a really poignant type of plot. And that's why I'm picking Stray as best indie. And I think that all of these awards, they mean something to a lot of people because you have to feel moved by them, right? The gaming industry is one of the biggest industries. This is a fact. This is what makes the most money. But it's also one of the things that teaches us certain notions about life as well. And I think what Stray did, I think was really relevant. And I think they did it beautifully. So that's why I'm picking Stray. But you guys have good picks too.
So before we go to the next topic, I did do some research before the comment section killed us, mostly me, and it is called Ghost Runner.
Right.
It's a first-person cyberpunk parkour action game.
Oh.
So yeah, you can get it on the Switch, PC, and PS5.
Oh,
so,
that used to be Xbox exclusive. I remember that's one of the first things they showed, and then they moved to PlayStation and stuff. Yeah, maybe I'll pick that up one day. It looks really hard though. I saw some gameplay.
It is, bro.
You have to have good timing. All right. Well, this is one of Jerome's favorite, Black Vanita's favorite category, best mobile game. No, this is a hard one. So we have Apex Legends Mobile, we have Diablo Immortal, we have Hoyoverse, we have Marvel Snap, and we have Tower of Fantasy. Let's start with Jerome. Jerome, what's your pick?
Okay, so we was talking about this a little bit off camera before we started recording. And Apex Legends Mobile, I'm not even going to look at that. No disrespect to the community, but why would I want it mobile? And granted, most people don't have money to afford consoles and PCs. Right. That's understandable. But most of the player base is on PC or console. So I'm going to discontinue that one. No shade. Just slide to the side and go out the door. Yeah. Just Diablo Immortal, great community. Every community got a toxic fans. Exactly. Diablo Immortal, I love that game. But honestly, the way that the studio behind Marvel Snap has been pushing this game from sponsorships to ad commercials, it's going to be a popularity contest. So Marvel Snap is going to win this, but Genshin Impact, I feel as though it dwindled as the years went by. Like as the months started going, it started like dropping down, but the player base is still active and they are loud as hell on Twitter. Tower of Fantasy is no Genshin Impact. Let's just say that. But I still love the game. But it's more catered to the MMORPG type of fans. If you're an MMO type player, Tower of Fantasy is for you. But Marvel Snap will ultimately win this because it's the freshest. It has the more eyes on it due to the studio behind it. And you got more recognizable characters within the game. So it's catering to more of the younger crowd than these other games. So it's quicker for them to spend money, to be engaged, to talk about it with their friends at lunchtime. So Marvel Snap gets the win.
Fair points.
Yeah, good point, Jerome. I would probably say Marvel Snap too. I would say Genshin Impact, but I definitely agree. I think the mobile community has kind of dwindled down a bit because now people are starting to pick it up on PlayStation and PC. I mean, I started as a mobile player. I think it's still one of the best games to play on mobile, just because how easy the game mechanics are. Um, but probably Marvel Snap, I would say.
Yeah, I think we all agree. Marvel Snap for sure. I think that's a safe bet. All right. So we have best community support. So we have Apex Legends, Respawn EA, Destiny 2, Bungie. I already have my thoughts on that. Final Fantasy 14, Square Enix, Fortnite, Epic Games, and No Man's Sky, Hello Games. So let's start with Dylan actually. So Dylan, what's your pick?
Ooh, probably have to give it to either Final Fantasy or Fortnite. I mean, No Man's Sky, I mean, I know they just had a sale on Steam recently, and I don't know how many people are still playing it. Destiny 2,
I
yeah,
love
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
I really don't know how many people are playing Apex Legend. I can't see them really like keeping the game alive. I mean, it's EA, but um, yeah, for me, it's between Final Fantasy and Fortnite. How about you, Jerome?
I'm just going to be honest and cut all the fluff and just say Final
Me
Fantasy
too.
due to my earlier statement throughout this podcast. The community support, bro, when somebody dies in real life who's a part of the Final Fantasy universe, we will legit hold ceremonies for them in game.
Oh wow.
Most communities would never do that. Granted, most communities aren't based on MMORPGs, so they don't have the freedom to do that. But they won't even hold a ceremony on social media. The community base for Final Fantasy 14 is tremendous. You can, even if you're a new player, it's guys, communities that'll help you. Even if you're a vet, there's still guys, communities that will ingratiate you into their whole guild. Like the whole community from a player base to the people that's up top is tremendous. And you can't get better community support than Final Fantasy 14. Especially since they started out so shitty.
I wish Square Enix showed that same love to Marvel's Avengers.
No, let that shit die.
Yeah, that is true. Imagine Dylan, this was actually here, nominated for some reason. Yeah, right.
Bro, they only care about Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy at this point.
That's their staple, man.
Yeah, no, I think it's a safe bet too. Final Fantasy was also nominated last year and it won an award for best community support. So I think that makes sense for it to be nominated again. You want to keep the rhythm going. I already know about Destiny 2. The community is all right. Not that it's kind of stale at the moment. Pretty stressful. Yeah, not a lot to say about that. A lot of LFGing. I don't know. I think the buzz for Destiny is kind of dying down too. I think less and less people are kind of talking about it. Now. No Man's Sky, I think, is doing amazing. They have plenty of updates. It feels like a well lived in world at this point, or a galaxy, I should say. So and Fortnite, I don't know about Fortnite, guys. I don't really think Fortnite's gonna win this. So I think again, safe bet, Final Fantasy. And what Jerome just told us all, I think is really beautiful. I haven't seen anything like that before. So awesome. I just wanted to mention, if you guys are seeing this video at this point, please remember to like and check out our other playlists later on. And thank you so much for watching. As we always say, we love you. All right, now let's move on. So innovation and accessibility, I have mine for this one. I definitely have mine for this one. All right, so it is As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry.
I already know what Akram's gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I'll give my point why, but yeah, okay.
I mean, you could start off.
All right. So for me, my safe bet is going to be The Last of Us Part 1. The reason why is they transferred the accessibility features from The Last of Us Part 2. And at the time, that was really revolutionary, especially with the high contrast mode, the different ways you could play the game. I saw examples of blind people playing this game, and I thought it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It touched me in a certain way because I was like, wow, so the people can play this awesome story. And so they transferred that in The Last of Us Part 1. Now, God of War Ragnarok also does kind of like the same thing with the high contrast mode, but I don't think it's that nuanced as it was in The Last of Us Part 1 or 2. As for the other games, I'm not really like, I haven't played these other games, so I don't really know. But again, probably The Last of Us Part 1. What are you guys' thoughts?
So I played. The only game I didn't play on this list is As Dusk Falls, as we stated previously. But The Last of Us Part 1, the accessibility features truly, not for me personally, because I don't need them, but for people who actually need them, it was touching because most game developers, they either half-ass it or come up with excuses as to why it's not here. But they took something that was already great and just kind of tweaked it even more and put it in an amazing game that we all played numerous times. God of War Ragnarok, I love it, but it's not on the Last of Us Part 1 scale because they basically took, like Akram said, took Part 2s and added it to Part 1. So for like my cousins and stuff who needs these features, to be able to now be able to talk to them about the game, because before I couldn't. And sometimes I shied away from talking about the game because it's a slap to the face. They want to play it, but there's no features for them. This game was truly touching because y'all actually listen to the community. Y'all actually listen to the people who are disenfranchised in terms of accessibility. So I got to give it up. The Quarry, I played it, but I didn't dive into the accessibility features. But as I'm looking at the list, I'm sure Akron will have a list up somewhere now that I mentioned it. But yeah, they had a feature, but it doesn't. None of the features of none of these games, right now, I haven't played As Dusk, are on the level of The Last of Us Part 1. And that's what me and Akron are trying to say.
Yep, absolutely.
You can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
If you need assistance, The Last of Us Part 1.
Hands down. What about you, Dylan? And great points.
I
by the
mean,
way.
I haven't played too many games in this category, so I don't want to speak too much in it. But I think everything you guys said was valid, and I probably would say The Last of Us Part 1. I mean, it's great, accessibility features, and it's great that they're being so inclusive, like Jerome said, to different people with different accessibility issues. So yeah.
Yeah, well, wonderful. All right, we're nearly done with the list. All right, so up next we have VR and AR. I'm sure there's a nice community for that. After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2. Oh my god, I remember Moss. And Red Matter 2. Give us your thoughts.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go After the Fall. Right now, I'm not a true like VR type of person,
Yeah.
but from what I played, bro, I love this game.
Mm.
Like I actually truly enjoy it. And I even played Red Matter 2, but since I haven't dived into all the games that's on this list, I can't give a definitive like who's gonna win. But based off of what I'm seeing, I may have to go with either After the Fall or Among Us, because the Among Us community is just, they built different.
Right.
So a VR experience based off of what we already play handheld, probably going to take the game to a whole new level.
That's hard. Yeah. I Among Us is very popular too. Like that. I'm not a big VR person. I did see a lot of After the Fall though. Like I'm confused, honestly. Like if I had to say out of popularity, it's not even Among Us. It's really difficult, actually. I don't think I have. I don't think I have a pick really. I'm like really stuck with this one.
I
This is the
saw
first
some
time I have
stuff
this
for
list.
Bone Lab on IG a long time ago, but I mean, it looked pretty, intensive. But probably I would say Among Us.
Okay.
Listen, man, they gonna kill us in the comment section. Be
Probably.
like, oh, y'all gotta get into VR.
I'm not a huge
VR is this.
person,
It only
so
costs this much to get VR.
I'm not the authority on it.
Well, there's a
Listen,
new PlayStation
man.
VR apparently coming out. Or
Yeah, I'm not paying for that one.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a whole new PS5. Like,
it is 500, right? It's like and some
yeah,
change.
like close to 600.
Yeah,
Like,
Steam
I'm
Deck before I
good.
buy that.
Steam Deck's expensive.
No,
as
I
well.
do gotta get a Steam Deck though.
Yeah, it's expensive though. Steam Deck is like whoa,
Like 400 for pushing
I'm gonna
five,
reserve my
pushing the
thoughts
same
on it.
price as the PS5.
and it's different tiers too apparently.
Mm.
But all right, so
Ooh,
I have my pick
okay,
for this one. I think this one's going to be a little bit biased for a lot of people who choose this. But all right, so we have Best Action Game, Bayonetta 3, a lot of controversy behind that one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Oh man, I'm about to be. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
I think I
Wait.
would probably play it safe and say Call of Duty, but I did love Sifu as well.
I would pick. To be honest with you, I would pick Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I know there's boycotting of Bayonetta. Sifu is really great, but I just think when I think of action game, I think of Michael Bay for some reason. If you're gonna put in that category, and that's why I'll pick Call of Duty.
Jerome looks so stressed, like he about to
Because he wants to
win
pick
$1 million
Neon White.
on this shit.
He really wants to pick Neon White or Sifu.
It's Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3 out of
wow.
all the controversy,
Wow.
really?
Hot take.
Forget the controversy. We talking about the game action. Listen, the action in Bayonetta 3 is fast paced. I don't know how many of y'all played Devil May Cry 5,
Mhm.
but it just became a faster version of Devil May Cry 5. So I already love the gameplay of Devil May Cry 5. So when you update it to make it faster with the Bayonetta skin on it, bro, that's for me. So I gotta give it the Bayonetta 3. Minus the whole controversy thing, but Bayonetta 3 gotta get it. Neon White, I didn't even expect it to be here due to how people were shitting on it for reviews. Granted, most people didn't like step out of their bubble and give it a chance. Shifu, I love Shifu. I'm a turtle head, so Teenage, I love that game. Call of Duty. But bro, Bayonetta 3, one thing about the Bayonetta series that they get right is combat. You can say whatever you want about story, how the world isn't as expansive as you may want it, or if you try to compare it to Devil May Cry, how the lore isn't as punctuant, it doesn't have that fire like a Devil May Cry series, but they get combat right. That's one thing. And it's action. Like Bayonetta, she gives you action.
Yeah. Well, they should also pay her too, because that's what the studio didn't do. They didn't pay the lead actress.
I mean, y'all not paying me, and I'm an extra.
Well, you have an internship.
You're the
I
intern,
mean,
yeah.
the state doesn't require pay yet, so we're using you for a couple of months.
Ain't that
We're
so?
giving you course credit for
Right. Well, what's your pick, Dylan?
I mean, preference wise, I would say Sifu. I think the action
Of
was
course you would.
the action was nice. It was clean, but it wasn't too complicated. Like it wasn't like a button masher. I mean, unless you were like, a button masher, but I think it was really, really clean, just the way the combat was. But I would probably say Call of Duty.
All right. Well. All right. Well, on that same category, we have Best Action and Adventure. So we have A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. Jerome, give me your thoughts here.
Okay, so Tunic being in this category along with Stray kind of shocked me. I'm not even gonna hold you
Right.
because those are more niche titles. But I could see why Stray would be in here because of the adventure, not because of the action, but the adventure aspect of both of these two games. I love them. Horizon Forbidden West, I'm not even gonna hold you. I would have went there because of the world, the lore, and all that. Plus, the action holds up to the world building. But shit, they put God of War Ragnarok here,
No.
and that really messed it up because you could have put any other game that came out in 2022 here, and I would have went with either a Plague Tale or Horizon. But God of War, bro, you're not being that. That's one thing about the new iteration of God of War, world building,
Right.
to go along with great action.
Yes.
You not being God of
God of
War.
War was made for this category. I mean, just the
Yeah.
gameplay alone, sells it.
Yeah,
So
I
I'd probably say
I
God of
think
War.
I think if there was like an Uncharted game, I think it could go toe to toe with God of War. But just the aspect of the fact that again it's open world sort of, right, and there's so many things to discover. And again, it comes back to art direction. I think when I think of adventure, I think of a lot of times of exploration, and then how do I know where I'm going? Well, art direction and this and that. That's really hard to say. I picked here actually God of War Ragnarok, but I kind of feel like to also pick Horizon Forbidden West. But I just think again, it just came out, so I think a safe bet would be God of War Ragnarok. I think that's probably gonna win. I think it's gonna take a lot of awards. All right, but that being said, so now I think this is more in tune with you got your preferences in gaming as well. We have best role playing. I think I know what you guys are gonna pick. We have Elden Ring, live and live.
Next question.
Right, Pokemon Arceus,
Arceus.
Arceus. This is all like.
Bro, please don't piss off the Pokemon community.
Sorry, but some of these names are like if I'm reading like Latin. I'm very sorry. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. All right. Anyways, I spoke enough. So give me your biased pick.
Me and Jerome are probably gonna pick Elden Ring, but I don't want to speak for Jerome.
Pretty easy.
I would have picked Elden Ring if I didn't play Triangle Strategy or Live a Live. So let me just say, if y'all into gaming, you can't go wrong with none of the games that's on this list.
Right.
Let's put that out there. So this is no shade to what I'm about to say, but best role playing game will have to go to Triangle Strategy.
Wow.
And I know that may be a hot button topic because the diehards. And granted, I would have gave it to Elden Ring. But since I don't want to make this video one of those things where I'm just constantly picking Elden Ring and shielding for Elden Ring, to step out of the comfort zone, I'm going to go Triangle Strategy because I just love that game overall from an aesthetic point of view to even the characters. And I'm usually the type of person that I don't like side characters like really quickly. And I loved every aspect of this game. Same for Live a Live. And y'all already heard how I feel about Xenoblade and Elden Ring. But Pokemon Legends Arceus, I said it right so we won't get killed in the comment section. Because y'all some toxic people. But yeah, like that game was cool, but Game Freak do better overall. But Triangle Strategy, if y'all haven't played it, please pick it up. Please pick up Live a Live. And if you haven't played Elden Ring, I don't know what you're doing in 2022, but bro, all these games are fantastic for role playing, but the JRPG side of me is going with Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I'd be surprised if it won, honestly, because I haven't heard much of it. I'm not like a big role playing guy. I haven't played Elden Ring. My safe bet will be Elden Ring, and unfortunately, that's just like because some of the choices sometimes seem like paint. Where it's just like you see it right there. It's like you can't help but notice. But if you enjoy it too, that's the thing. And all these have been nominated, even if they lost, it still's been nominated, so it's worth recognition. Some games that weren't nominated also are worth recognition, I believe. So good luck to them. Did you pick yet, Dylan? You probably picked Elden Ring, right?
Well, I would say, obviously I'm going to pick Elden Ring, but I would say if you enjoy putting holes in your drywall, play Elden Ring. If you don't, any other of these
Kyle.
games.
Oh god.
But no,
Cue
I
the
think
emo music.
Yeah, I mean, even Elden Ring, just touching back on it, I think the customization could have been a little better for your character. I always try to like, I did this with Cyberpunk. I try to make my character look like me, but it was like a little off. The classes were okay. I mean, I wish there was more. I don't know, something like if you want to start out, like if you really want to challenge yourself, like I did, like because I went with the warrior class. But if you want to like build up your magic stats, I just think there needs to be something there that you can build up faster without having to do so much. That's just my 2 cents.
Also, side note, I did like for Elden Ring, I would have wanted to pick like a true assassin type or like a character that had like a Grim Reaper aesthetic. So a character that uses a scythe. Granted, the world makes you think that you will be able to have a character that's scythe based, but you don't.
It's hard
And
to
it's
be
only
like you want to look cool, but you also want to have good stats in this game.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting takes, guys. All right, everybody. So now for a bathroom break, but here's a quick clip of a moose. Woo! Sorry about that, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that clip. Now, on to our next nomination. We have Best Fighting. I know you guys are excited about this. So we have DNF, Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle, R, The King of Fighters. Jerome, what does XV mean? All right. And then we also have Multiverses and Sifu. So give me your thoughts.
First of all, don't ask me nothing Roman, because y'all don't even pay me for what I'm doing. And do you want me to be a teacher?
Oh,
no, you could. No,
it's a good opportunity. Put it in your resume, yeah.
You are not going to get free labor out of me.
Black Vanitas, the anthropologist, yes.
But no.
Yeah, what do you choose?
This list hard as hell.
It's hard, huh?
Yeah, because I was a closed beta tester for DNF.
Oh, wow.
Same for the King of Fighters. Multiverse, I didn't know was coming out, so I couldn't even sign up. I don't even know if they had closed beta tests for that. JoJo's, I know this game like the back of my hand. And Shifu, we all love Shifu, because you heard me and Dylan raving over that one. But honestly, oh man, I'm going to go. It's a toss-up between DNF and the King of Fighters. But I'm going to go with the King of Fighters. Only because I like the diverse characters that are in this game and the different movesets. And the specials just feel so impactful. Like, one of my things about fighting games is when you hit a special and it feel like, okay, it did a little damage, but all that hype for that. King of Fighters, one thing about this franchise, they get specials right. And DNF is a new player to the party. It picked up off of the coattails. Well, not to say that because that's disrespectful, but it picked up off of Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Grand Blue Fantasy, the battle game that's like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So it had the formula already set, and it took it and just went wild with it. And they just released, I think, an update with adding a new character. So even though my heart is going to King of Fighters, DNF, I love it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what to choose because I haven't heard much about Multiverses, to be honest. I haven't heard about the other games either. The only game I heard about is Shifu. So I don't even know what to bet about that. To be honest with you, it'll be between Multiverses but I'm going to actually side with Jerome because he looks like he knows what he's talking about there. So yeah, good choice. All right, Dylan, what's yours?
I mean, yeah, I'll agree with Jerome. King of Fighters definitely, like, the specials definitely feel rewarding. Multiverses was like really popular for a while. I could see it taking top spot, but I mean, I've also said Sifu a lot, so I would probably, bank on Multiverse or Sifu. I can't speak on the other games because I haven't talked about it. So I'd probably go with those two, Multiverses or Shifu.
All right. We got some kid-friendly stuff finally here. So we have the category of Best Family. We have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. We have Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope. We have Nintendo Switch Sports. Ooh, classic. And we have Splatoon 3. So, yeah.
Kirby
looked cute. I actually saw the gameplay of that. I really enjoyed that. It looks really nice.
Oh man, I want to say Kirby, but Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, hefty, bro.
Yeah,
that was an amazing Lego game.
It's big.
Like it hit all the traditional things that we get from a Lego game, like the humor and stuff like that. But man, the way they transition between the different sagas, it just made me like actually want to go watch some of the movies again, even the ones that I didn't like. Bro, this best family game, Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, I know Splatoon has 3. A community behind it. So I'd probably say that's runner-up, but I'd probably say Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, you see, so for this one, this is weird, interesting, because when I think of best family, I think of games that I could involve my older family with. So my first game ever that I ever played with my father is actually Lego Star Wars way back when, and he actually knew how to play that. Now to get like people like that to play games is like really difficult to learn the controllers, but for some reason he always recognizes the controls for Lego Star Wars. And also Nintendo Switch Sports, it was a really popular thing back then. I don't know about now, to be honest. I probably would put my money on Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, and it's so huge and
Well,
it
the
has
fun
everything
thing about
together.
it too is that it hasn't really changed much over the
Right,
years. It's
right.
the same mechanic. It's the same. You just switch through characters. You build some Lego. It's just the only thing that's changed really is the style of it. And now they apparently talk now. But
Yeah, yeah. I remember it was like,
Yeah, true.
oh.
right.
All right, everybody. So now we have best sim and strategy. This is your guys' category because I have no clue. We have Dune Spice Wars, Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Points Campus, and Victoria 3.
Jerome, you're gonna have
So
to take this one. I'm
take
not
the
really
reins,
like a
Jerome.
huge Sims strategy person either.
So I'm not a huge one, but I do like dabble from time to time. So looking at this list, I played Done. I played the Mario game. I wanted to get around to playing Victoria 3, but I never got the chance to. Same with Total Warhammer. So I would have to say Mario and Rabbids because that game was just it was so quirky and fun. And that's what really like kept me into it was the quirkiness. Forget the story. It was just the fun of playing this game. And that's what I believe sometimes we forget about. We so focused on story and the world and forget that, am I actually having fun with the game? And this brought me back to, yeah, I'm actually having fun. So Mario and Rabbids, yeah, y'all gave me hope. Ironically, as the title say.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, good points. I wonder too if because the new Mario game is coming out, if that'll also get a lot of like votes
the
for
movie?
that too. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Jerome. Yeah, definitely like Mario is one of those few games where like it's kind of like you don't really like immerse yourself too much in the story. It's just like, you have fun with it, right? So yeah, I would probably say Mario.
Well, for me though, this is the thing. It says strategy, and I feel like a lot of people are going to take this very serious. I'd say Mario is a safe bet just because it's very glossy, the image they had there when you're voting, and I think a lot of people who aren't very into Sims will probably pick Mario. There was some good marketing for Dune Spice Wars, but only like once. But I feel like the popularity of the movie would get people who's not into Sims to kind of vote for Dune, unfortunately. And Total Warhammer, absolute classic. But I'm honestly gonna go out on a limb and say Dune Spice Wars, and we'll see if I'm right or not. The day of the Game Awards, we will see.
Don't bet your
Um,
mortgage on it.
yes. Now, moving on. Finally, we have best sports and racing. So we have F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and World. Because I have no idea how to say that, but you see it on screen right now. So, guys, give me your thoughts.
Ollie World, bro.
Ollie World.
Olive oil world.
I already know mine for this one, actually. I think I'm going to pick FIFA 23. It's very popular.
I can't remember the last time I picked up 2K.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, wow. So, Ollie World, played that. Love it. Gran Turismo, we love it. FIFA, you can't go wrong with a FIFA game. But 2K23, well, you can't go wrong with a FIFA game. Shit. That shit was made by EA, so you can't go wrong with something. But I never played the F1 series.
neither.
I never played them.
No.
Like I see them when I go to my local game store. It's just like, oh, okay, what 2K or FIFA at?
Right.
But 2K23, that made me pick 2K up again. Because the last 2K, I think I stopped playing the franchise at 2K13. And I dabbled the later years. But 2K23, that's the only one that I actually made multiple characters, maxed all of them out and all that. So I'm going to go with 2K23.
Safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'd probably go with FIFA too. But I mean, also Gran Turismo is really clean too. And not like a huge like sports gamer.
Me neither.
Yeah. That's all I have to say on it.
I'm gonna go with FIFA, to be honest, but I mean Jerome's probably going to be right in this category because he has more experience than I do with sports games. All right, the last time I played a sports game was like in 2012. Anyways, so best multiplayer: This is a controversial one for one of these. So we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiversus, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Let's start off with Jerome. Jerome, what would you pick for this category?
I want to pick Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, but that's just my bias for the franchise as a whole. But it is, let me just say this, it is a fantastic multiplayer game. Splatoon 3, I'm giving it to that. Only because I love Splatoon. And it's just a fun game to have with friends. And we talk about multiplayer. And sometimes we go for the hardcore games. But just to sit down on a nice Saturday, Sunday morning and just play with friends like we was kids, Splatoon embodies the late night multiplayer aspect of when we was kids. Just, hey, you want to play this? You want to play this? Let's join. Splatoon 3 does it for me. Overwatch 2, they were smart by making it free. Multiverse, it had its like super strong hype in the beginning. And then it kind of like dwindled a little bit, but it still got a player base and you can't go wrong with Call of Duty. But just because we play Call of Duty, it's still a huge section that doesn't play Call of Duty. But Splatoon 3, that's one of Nintendo's highest like properties. So can't beat Splatoon.
I really think sometimes it comes down to what you can make a career out of for some of these categories. And honestly, the reason why I'm going to choose Call of Duty is because esports. And although Call of Duty has a major problem right now with hackers nonstop, whatever, I think it's called the Ricochet, something to protect people, that does not work. Warzone is a mess. But again, that's Warzone. So this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I know a lot of people love the new decoy thing that came out. That's like the little air balloon. There's a lot of cool gadgets and stuff, and they also added third person. Again, you have new gameplay mechanics like the dolphin dive. People are dog running now again, like back then. So I probably will pick Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But as Jerome was saying too, I think it's really beautiful that it's also the time you get to spend with your friends. Kind of like, I don't know, what do you, couch co-op? Is that couch co-op, by the way, Splatoon 3? Or is that just like...
Now you gotta be on the couch with your people?
No, I'm just saying, can you do split screen? Because a lot of games, they kind of like, not do split screen.
See, I don't invite people in my career.
Okay, so never mind.
I wouldn't know.
All right.
But yeah, from the trailers, yeah.
All right, well, you guys got my point. It's a really beautiful thing, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Dylan, tell us your pick.
Well, for multiplayer, I'm wondering if they're basing it like on like player community.
No,
because if they're
just
going
multiplayer, like just the
multiplayer.
actual, yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are still playing Overwatch. I mean, it's still a great, community. I would probably say either between Call of Duty or Splatoon. Multiverses looked fun, but I don't think it's yet on the Smash level.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably between Overwatch and Splatoon.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell's Overwatch. Actually, I never played Overwatch, but I used to always watch the lore videos on YouTube, and now I don't really see much of that with Overwatch 2. Like, I don't really see the talk happening anymore. So I kind of feel sad for that. All right, so we have a couple of award or nominations to go over. We're almost finished, everybody. So we have Best Debut Indie. So we have, I think this is going to be Jerome's pick: Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, Vampire Survivors. I don't know. It might be hard for Jerome, actually. So, but let me let you think. So, Dylan, give us your pick.
Probably Stray. I mean,
yeah,
if it hasn't won that many awards already, I'll probably definitely pick this one. I mean, it was a great game overall. But yeah, I know Jerome, he looks like he's got some thoughts ready to spew
That's
out.
hard. That's a hard one.
Shit. So I would go Stray, but first of all, Stray is already winning regardless. But Neon White, I'm an adult, so I like stuff that's catered towards me. So like certain topics and discussions, even though I may not partake in it, I know it, so I can find some semblance. In Neon White's dark and crude like depiction of certain things, or like the lore, which was more dark than what we generally see from the genre. Yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna go Neon White, but my heart say either Stray or Tunic is gonna win this.
Yeah, Tunic. I feel like the only one who really like shows a lot of trailers of Tunic really is like whenever Summer Game Fest or Game Awards comes out, they always show Tunic. But then after that, I never really see anything for it. Best debut, I think probably Stray, just because it was on PS4, it went to PS5 later on, and it became very popular as an indie game. I think it did its job, kind of like spreading. So I think it makes sense for people to vote for Stray, although the other nominations are wickedly awesome. So, all right. So, everybody, we're at this nomination, Best Adaptation. So, we have, and this is a cool one because our friend Black Vanitas joined us for one of these reviews. So, we have Arcane, League of Legends. We have Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah, so let's start off with Falco. His death, hands down, I enjoyed it. I cheered. I was on the bus screaming. Got looked at weird.
We have the Cuphead show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland. Falco, why don't you give us your thoughts? I thought that it was an ambitious take. Go ahead.
I'm about to
Go ahead.
slit your throat tonight.
Yo. Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I love movie.
That, yeah.
Like, can we just say how this movie was such a like Sonic Adventures 2 like throwback?
Right.
But the Uncharted, it's okay. It's not my favorite like adaptation.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm not about to spice that.
Right.
Like no. Cuphead, I love it.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, fuck you smile with it. But Cyberpunk, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love it, but nothing this year besides Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War hit me harder than Arcane. Like, bro, this series from top to bottom, from a musical standpoint, all the way to a depiction of the world as a whole, just top tier. Like, and I thought this would fail due to the animation quality. Well, the stylistic approach to the animation. I thought that it would be like hit or miss with people, but everybody seemed to love it. So, Arcane, League of Legends, I'm still waiting for season 2. So,
yeah,
it's my pick.
It's a hard one for me. Yeah, I definitely agree. Arcane was fucking beautiful. I actually did enjoy the art style of it, and I know a lot of people love this show. So I won't be surprised if it takes top spot. Cuphead I didn't watch, so I can't really speak on it. Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah, was amazing. Uncharted was like kind of mid for me. I'm probably gonna go with Cyberpunk. I love that, and it brought so many players back to the game.
Yeah, this is a hard one because I think Arcane created an impact on Netflix with video game adaptations, and also it had a star-studded cast. I think the visual elements were very cool, to say the least. I liked how it looked personally. I think Cyberpunk Edge Runners, it's important because CD Projekt Red, not only do they have the Witcher series of Henry Cavill back in the time, and they actually, because of having that show out, more people went back to the Witcher franchise and played those games. And then with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, to kind of revitalize the community. And I think it's a really impactful for that as well. Cuphead, animation-wise, beautiful. I think it's a great show. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 doesn't take itself seriously, not like Uncharted. It's fun, and I wish more video game adaptations were kind of like that, when it's dealing with cartoony elements. Uncharted, I wish we reviewed that back in the day. I still find Tom Holland really weird as Nathan Drake. I don't know why they really did that, but okay, whatever. I'm gonna actually have to go with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And that was the first time, if you guys are still watching to this point, that was the first time we ever got 2,000 views. So that was really impactful for our channel too, and we greatly appreciate you. And again, we love you as always.
That's crazy because you're not even like an anime guy, Akram.
But you see, it means something. That's all these nominees, all these nominations, they mean something to people too. So it's like popularity, you vote, or you vote for what it means to you. Right. So like that's when it becomes kind of controversial. It's kind of hard to pick. But anyways, at any rate, all right. So now we have most anticipated game. Everybody, this is our last nomination. So It is Final Fantasy, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. So, you guys, give me your thoughts. Go ahead.
Uh, God, so many of these games I want. For me, I don't know. It's between Legend of Zelda and Starfield. I know we got you know, we got some gameplay footage from Starfield already. But Legend of Zelda, that's everybody's been like foaming at the mouth for that. Hogwarts Legacy, I am excited to see that, but I don't know how many people are really like looking forward to it. Probably Resident Evil 4, I would say, more than Hogwarts Legacy. But probably Final Fantasy maybe. But Jerome, what are your thoughts?
So we already know about Resident Evil 4. So I'm not, even though it's anticipated because they upgraded it and changed a few things, but it's not like a complete overhaul. It's not like Final Fantasy VII Remake where they overhauled the game. But Resident Evil 4, I can't wait for it to come out. Starfield, I'm always anticipating the next Zelda game because I just love the franchise, but it's a most anticipated game. And right now, the two most anticipated games are Hogwarts Legacy and Final Fantasy 16. Only reason because for Final Fantasy case, after Final Fantasy 15 and how it unfolded, we was itching to get a new Final Fantasy game that was complete. And Final Fantasy 16 is seemingly going to take everything that we love about Final Fantasy 14, that MMORPG, and add elements from past Final Fantasy games that made us fall in love with the genre. So that's why I believe that's going to be one of the most anticipated. And Hogwarts Legacy. How many times since Dylan, when middle school, when we was talking about if we could get a Hogwarts game, we finally got that. Like, the community has been itching for a Hogwarts game, not even a Harry Potter game, but just to be able to be in Hogwarts with your own character. We finally got that. And the deep character customization from that trailer, it's not shying away from different ethnic groups.
Mhm.
Like, you can be who you want. You could depict yourself. I'm finna be on Voldemort's side, low key. Like, I'm finna be a dark wizard. Like, I'm causing chaos wherever I go.
Slytherin day one.
The fact, oh hell yeah! And it's the fact that they gave me the option to be Slytherin or to use dark magic to make a character that's basically me. Like, I saw cornrows, fades, braids. Like, bro, this game is so anticipated that I can't even find a collector's edition. The collector's edition was sold out within the first 10 to 30 minutes.
Yep. Oh, wow.
So between Final Fantasy 16, based on what we have for our past track record, and Hogwarts Legacy, because all the Harry Potter fans wanted a full-on immersive game since we was kids. So can't go wrong with them too.
Well, Akram, you're the tiebreaker. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think Final Fantasy is a safe bet. I think Resident Evil doesn't really make sense for most anticipated game because when it comes out, it's really cool. But it becomes kind of like this thing where you see most of the time being played in Facebook gaming and really big modding community as well. I'm sure people are going to make Sexy Leon a little bit later on. Starfield, I honestly think they shot their shot and they kind of failed with it. I wasn't really impressed from what I seen. It reminded me a lot of No Man's Sky. I hope that there's more that they will show possibly in the Game Awards for some premieres. I know Legend of Zelda, a lot of people love that game, but if it was for most anticipated game, I think I'm going to pick Hogwarts Legacy because I see a lot of people talking about this game nonstop in comments and are itching to know more constantly. So yeah, I definitely will pick Hogwarts Legacy. Wow, this was awesome doing this with you guys. Thank you so much. And hey, you, the viewer, if you guys made it to this portion of the video, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you. Again, I keep saying it. I love you so much. And please show us some support. Check out our other playlists. This is our first, again, predictions and over like a couple of months. So long time coming, right? And we have a lot more content coming up in November and December. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually December right now. Oh my God. So Game Awards around the corner. We're going to do reactions pretty soon. But Dylan, as always, take us away.
Yeah, and actually, we're doing another predictions episode after this, where we talk more about what we feel they'll showcase, for the world premieres. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. And of course, we're doing a reactions when Game Award comes out. But of course, you can check us out on YouTube, but you can also check us out on Anchor, Apple's Podcast, and Spotify as well. And I'd just like to thank Jerome for joining us as well.
Yeah, where can we follow you, Jerome?
You can follow me on all social platforms except for Facebook because ew. But you can follow me at Black Vanitas, BLVK Vanitas. And yeah, man, I'm basically your go-to anime guy for discussions, reviews, and battles. So if you like that, check me out. And in the upcoming collab, me, Dylan, and Akram, we will be doing a drinking challenge. Like I proposed the idea to them. So I'm gonna need them to jump on board so we can be drunk. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
As always, thanks for having me
Of
on.
course.
I love y'all, as always. And Dylan, we'll see you at your birthday party.
All right.
That's right.
Don't forget to say happy birthday to him, guys, in the comments.
Coming up, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys again. Till then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bro, it is damn short dinner time.